ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Om Mandalam 10 Suktam 30 Rishi Kavasha Ailusha Devada Ava Apangapatva Chandastrushto Pra Devatra Brahmane Gadure Vapo Gadureza Vapo 10.30.1 Moving water streams protected by shining beings having an impulse like that of the mind come in front of us for the seekers of Atma. O soul, prepare the great meal and good praise for Mitra, Varuna and the widely extending Indra. Here in this Suktam, moving water streams symbolizes flowing essence of Atma. The shining waters only has the impulse of the mind. Seer of the Suktam is telling his inner Jivatma to inspire this Soma for shining beings. Adharyavo Havishmando hi 30.2 O performers of non-violent knowledge sacrifice, indeed, you be offerers of oblations. Desiring the water streams, you nicely approach with prayers the desirable water streams, namely Atmiya Somadharas. The reddish hawk looks down upon them. O sacrificers possessing good hands, you cause this illusion of waters to glide. Comment: Reddish hawk stands for Atma, who looks down upon the shining water streams, flowing essence of Atma. May the sacrificers cause this illusory Soma flow in their minds. Adharyavova ita 30.3 O performers of non-violent sacrifice, you approach with prayers the atmosphere for getting the water. Now, Agni, who does not allow water to fall down, gives you well-purified drops of water in vapor form. Please extract sweet Soma for that Agni. May you honor that Agni who does not allow water to fall down to earth. The water here refers to basic element appearing in nature. Agni heat energy keeps water particles in the atmosphere in vapor form and not allowing it to fall down. Last part of the work needs no explanation. Yo anidhamo Didayadapswa 30.4 O soul of Agni, you who makes the water particles not fall down, shine forth inside the water particles without fuel. Wise men invoke him in non-violent sacrifices, and with him Indra grows for performing heroic deeds. He may give us the sweet water. Comment on this. This work is again referring to physical or gross water, and Agni to the soul of energy who manifests as heat energy. Agni gives energy to Indra or Jivatma for all his activities also. Yabhisomo modate harshate 30.5. O performers of sacrifice, with what young girl-like water streams or dharas Soma delights, and enjoys happiness like a man, you go off to bring those water streams to us. When sprinkled, they are cleansed by the plants. Grass water gets evaporated and cleaned or purified by plants. May sacrificers procure the drops of Soma, which have the flowing or moving property, namely fluidity of grass water. We go to the next sutta, 30.6. Eve dyune yudhayo namanta. Desirable water particles proceed towards him, Agni, whenever desired, in the same way as young maidens incline themselves for a youth. Sacrificers, their intelligence, and the shining waters, all the three are in harmony with their minds, and they agree to work together. Desirable or shining waters represents the shining water dharas, flowing essence of Atma. Sacrificers conceive of these shining water streams or water dharas in their minds. This is the implied meaning of the rag. 30.7. Yoso urdabhyo agrunodu lokam. O shining water dharas, may you set in motion the sweet wave or illusion of water, which is exhilarating for shining beings, and also for that Indra who makes free space for you to get away from the cloud covering you and frees you from the clutches of the great Hatta. In this rag, the water dharas can be physical or shining, depending on whether the cloud is taken in the gross sense or spiritually. With respect to shining water dharas, shining somadharas, shining beings implies enlightened souls. Prasmai hino tamadhumanta 10.30.8. O rich shining water dharas, please set in motion that sweet wave or illusion of water, that sweet essence of yours, which is there held in the interior of the cloud, for that worship-worthy Indra, whose back is smeared with ghee in non-violent sacrifices. Please listen to this prayer of mine. The sweet essence of water streams is the flowing property, fluidity of water. This property, imaginarily imposed on Atma, is necessary for the creation of the concept of flowing essence of Atma, which helps Indra to procreate this universe. Note that kinetic energy is imparted to a fluid at rest in waves or pulses. Tam Sindhavo Matsaramindra 30.9. O flowing water streams, please send out the waves or illusion or pulse flow of that essence, which hastens you in both atmosphere and over the earth. This is reeling with excitement, is desirable, is born in the atmosphere, is exhilarating, and is fit for Indra for drinking. This rag talks about grass water and shining water dharas. The rag can be interpreted both physically and in the spiritual sense. Each pulse carries one quantum of spiritual light energy or body attached Jivatma. This is implied by the Ruk. That 10.30.10. Avarvrita Tiratha. No. Avarvrita Tiratha. No. Dvidhara. O sage, then you extol the water streams now itself. They move in continuous series of drops. Like men fighting for battle, they turn around repeatedly. These two streams are like mothers and are protectors of living creatures. They have the same origin and grow together with other basic elements. The interesting interpretation of this Ruk is two streams of water particles could be physical or flowing essence of Atma. Alternately, with reference to grass water, the two streams could be one in the vapor state moving upwards in the atmosphere and the other in the liquid state moving downwards in the atmosphere and over the earth. The two movements alternate repeatedly. Water streams, divine or grass, is necessary for living creatures for their very existence. All basic elements and Atmiya Soma essence, the shining water dharas, have the same origin, namely Atma. Hinodano Atparam Devayajya 10.30.11. O sacrificers, you set in motion non-violent sacrifice for honoring shining beings, for procurement of wealth for you, and send forth Vedic praises. In harnessing nature, you cause the Ada to overflow. O shining water dharas, be ready to help us, please. Ada of water is thought of as a cloud generally, which could be physical or spiritual, meaning ignorance. May grass or shining water particles release the corresponding water particles and help the sacrificers. That is the implied meaning. 30.12. Apo Revadiye Kshayathahi Vasva. O abundantly rich water streams, you are the dwellers of the wealthy cloud. You hold excellent intelligence and immortality. You stay as the protectors of wealth as well as of good offsprings. May you give us that vigor, which may mean spiritual wealth, to a praiser of Saraswati. Here, wealth implies waters, which could be grass or subtle or causal. 10.30.13. Prati Yada Apo Adrishram. O shining water drops, when you approach towards me, I see you who hold water particles, which are sweet as ghee, and who are procuring well-extracted soma for Indra in association with similar-minded sacrificers. 30.14. Ema Akpandra Evadir Jivadhanya. Rich water drops who are rich in vital powers have arrived here. O friendly sacrificers, in association with Agni, who does not allow water to fall down, make them sit here. Make them who are sacrifice worthy sit in this place of sacrifice. 10.30.15, last trick of the sutta. Agmannava Ushatir Barhiredam. Desiring us, the shining water drops have arrived in this sacrificial place. Coming here, these desirers of shining beings are seated in this knowledge sacrifice in their respective places. O sacrificers, extract Atmiya Pavamana Soma essence for Indra. Your worship of shining beings has become practicable. Next sukta we go from the same Rishi. Devata Vishvedeva Chandas Trushtu. This suktam deals with manifestation of universe, mainly the space, earth and Agni. Meaning of the ruks may not be easy for many for understanding. Ano Devanam Uvavedu Shamso 31.1. May our most praiseworthy and worship-worthy among the shining beings Indra bring us in close contact with all quick-moving maruts for our protection. May we become good friends with them and cross over all our difficulties. Comment, may Jivatma along with pranas protect the sacrificers in this knowledge sacrifice. This is the gist of the Rakha. Parichinmarto Dravinam Mamanya 10.31.2. Men all around may think about wealth. With salutations, they may serve the path of Vrata. Moreover, they may speak together with intelligence. With one's own mind, one should get hold of that bliss-giving power. Implied meaning, gaining objective knowledge about nature, men may think of the cause of this manifested universe, but all of them speak in one voice that the origin Atma is to be meditated on and realized. Path of Vrata is from unity to diversity, and truthful path is to Satya, from the manifested universe. Satya is the oneness state. Adhai Dhīdir 31.3. We lay on our understanding. Friendly portions flow towards the accomplisher of wonderful deeds, Indra, and get attached to him like water drops flowing into rivers. May we attain vital energy of the easily accessible one. May we become knowers of immortal beings. Comment. We understand that all limbs of the body and mind are activated by Jivatma or Indra and they are attached to him. Essence of life, spiritual light energy, comes from Atma directly. May the sacrificers realize that immortal Atma. 31.4. Nityashchaganyat 31.4. From whom the resplendent Savita manifests, Bhaga conceals with spiritual rays, and Atyama feels ashamed of him. May Indra, who may be there, who is the most wonderful protector or lord of the self, who is front of the house and permanent, shine for that person. Comment on that. For an ignorant man who thinks that the Creator Savita is born, Bhaga conceals this truth, birthlessness. Aryama is ashamed of such a man. May Atma of Indra, who resides in the heart space of this person, reveal self-knowledge to him, to the seer of the Sukta. Indra may or may not be there in the heart space since he is unreal. Iyam sabhuya ushasami vaksha 31.5. May this praise which powerful beings with their might visit together be there on the earth like the dawns. May friendly possessors of wealth approach us, desiring to hear this hymn of the praisers. May this praise which is in honor of powerful beings be chanted and heard every day, morning, all over the earth. This is the essence of the work. Asyedesha sumati paprathana 10.31.6. This good mind of his becomes grantor of ancient wealth or earth. Now, in the universal rule of that Supreme Spirit, settlers having the same dwelling in the abode become bearers of his message. Supreme Spirit is Atma. Atma reveals ancient wealth, self-knowledge to the seer of the Sukta. Enlightened souls become messengers of the self. Kim svid vanam ka u sa vriksha asa 10.31.7. The space and earth are staying together, are undecaying, and are offering protection to all. From what tree they are cut out? How did this tree come into existence? Which forest produced this tree? The days praise the interminable dawns. Comment on this. As a true scientist, seer of the Suktam is inquiring after the origin of the space, earth, and other forms of basic matter by asking these questions to himself. Days praise Usha, since they depend on her for their existence. The same questions are raised in 10.81 Sutta. Next book is 31.8. Naita vadena paro anyadastyuksha. Creation of the space and earth is not this way. There is one more superior entity than these shining beings. That emitter of seed bears the space and earth. When he makes this purified cloud cover, then he does not carry them in the same way the yellowish rays do not carry the sun. Supreme entity could mean the self or Purusha described in 10.90. Birth of matter from birthless Brahman is covered by a layer of ignorance associated with Atma. There is no connection between Prakriti and Purusha, nature and Atma. Or nature does not carry Atma like sun rays do not carry the sun. Stego na kshamathyedi prithivim 31.9. Self-luminous sun does not cross the path of vast earth. The wind does not bestow downpour of water over the earth. Where Mitra or Varuna is not born or existing, there Agni discharges heat or flame as in a forest or cloud. Implied meaning of this slok: each form of matter has individual existence and its own qualities. Their functions do not overlap one another. In the absence of Mitra and Varuna, Agni emits heat and light. Water causes downpour of rain. (31.10) Stariryat Suda Sadyo Ajyamana. When a barren existing cow who is tremulous, guarding herself, gives birth, immediately she makes sure-footed steady offspring. When the ancient son takes birth from the father, the earth ejects that Agni who is born out of shami wood sticks. Him the sacrificers are inquiring after. Tremulous Mother Earth gives birth to Agni who is steady and sure-footed. When Purusha generates Agni energy, each earth ejects Agni which was concealed within herself or in the forest trees. Intelligent men were seeking after this Agni Atma only for many centuries. They produced physical Agni by churning wood pieces. All this are implied in the slok. 31.11 Uda Kanvam Nrisada Putramahur. Moreover, this is the last slok in the sukta. Moreover, Kanva the praiser is said to be the son of Nrishad, dweller among men, Agni. Also, that powerful dark brown Kanva received much wealth from Agni, who causes the shining adder, ignorance cloud, to abound in wealth. Here, nobody else causes the wealth to swell for him like this. Kanva represents that wise man to whom Agni made his appearance for the first time. This fire became a source of wealth for him as well as for the whole mankind. This is the essence of the slok. We go to the next suktam from the same Rishi. 32, Suktam 32, Devada Vishvedeva, Chandas Jagadi Tushtu. Prasu Gmanta Dhyasanasya Sakshani. 32.1 May Indra impel the horses or rays of spiritual light coming to participate in this knowledge sacrifice of the most attentive performer, namely the seer of the Sukta, sage Kavasha. May he come towards the excellent oblations of these performers sitting down in the sacrifice. He delights both in our oblations and in our praises. He attends to nourishing food and Soma essence offered to him. Here, horses may imply rays of spiritual light, and Soma could be the sign or spiritual, namely Atmiya Bhavaman Soma. Vindrayasi Divyani Rochana 32.2 O much praised Indra, you traverse the shining bright space. You also traverse the earthly beings with your spiritual light. May they who bring you near the sacrifices again and again, win wealth for us who are praisers and not rich. Comment on the Ruk. Indra, universal manifested self, pervades all objects in the space and on the earth. As universal Jivatma, he is present in all living creatures in addition. May his rays of spiritual light reveal self-knowledge to the sacrificers or praisers. Tadin me chant sat vapusho vapushtaram. 32.3. May Indra desire the most wonderful form among beautiful forms for me. When the son turns the mind towards his birthplace from his parents, the wife conveys her husband by a virtuous call. Only auspicious, well-prepared speech may be conveyed from or by the man. Implied meaning: when the seer is seeking his place of origin, Indra the father may reveal to him with well-prepared speech the most excellent birthless Atma, since this is a well-prepared hymn in praise of Indra. Tadit sadhastham abhicharu didhya. 32.4. O Indra, manifested self, please shine upon that wonderful abode where the speeches restrain like the cows controlling their breathing, where mother of mankind comes into being before the herd, and where the man consisting of 7 elements becomes producer of this music, Vedic hymn. The abode is not explainable by words. Mother Prakriti came into being in this abode before matter and material objects appeared. The praiser's body is composed of 5 basic elements, the mind and ego activated by Atma. Pravocha Ririje Devayur. 10.32.5. O friends, let desire of the shining being Agni takes his seat in your sacrificial place. One morning, the shining being's overpowering Indra travels with Marus. Praises too are meant for giving among these immortal beings. May you sprinkle sweet Atmiya Soma essence for these protectors. Nidhiyamana. 10.32.6. O spiritual Agni, protector of the commands of shining beings, Indra tells me about you, who is being well preserved and who is hidden in the water particles. That wise one following you notices you. Getting instructed by him, I shall move about. Agni, heat energy, he is hidden in the water particles. Jatharagni is well preserved in human bodies. Indra reveals the identity of Agni or personified energy. Agni is different from Jivatma and Atma. Akshetravid Kshetravidam Hyaprat. 32.7. A non-knower of place of origin asks a knower of origin. The non-knower, instructed by the knower only, attains his goal. Moreover, following the advice of the instructor, he procures that auspicious, straightforward path. Instructed by Indra the knower, seer of the Suktam, sage Kavasha, who is a knower, proceeds to his goal along the right path, from diversity to unity or oneness state. Adyedu Prani 10.32.8. This Agni Atma comes to life now only. He observes those days. Also being concealed, he sips the essence held in the udder of the mother. The praisers approach this ever-youthful Agni. Not angry, abundantly rich, spiritual Agni becomes favorable to me. Agni stands for spiritual energy and mother for Prakriti. Agni drinks water held in the cloud or essence of it, life held by Prakriti. He gives it to the seer. Etani Bhadra Kalasha Kriyama. Last book in the Sutta 32.9. O inspirer and hearer of praises or praisers, Indra, manifested self. We prepare these excellent oblations for you, who is giver of wealth. O offerers of rich oblations, may he be a giver of good gifts to you, whom Indra holds in his heart. May this Atmiya Soma also be a good giver of gifts to you. Mandalam 10, Ashtakam 7, Chapter 8, Suktam 33. Rishi, Kavasha, Ailusha, Devata, Vishvedeva, Indra, Urushravana, Stradasyava, Uvamashrava, Maitra Tithi, Chandas Trushtub, Sato Brihati, Gayatri, Pramayuyutre, Prayuju Jananam. 33.1. Uniters of men set me in motion. I or my mind carry the nourisher Purusha inside me. Therefore all shining beings protect me. When I arrived, there was tumult. One who cannot be ordered around by others has come. Comment on this. Seer of the Suklam is identifying the self with Purusha, the nourisher, or Atma, whom all enlightened souls protect. He meditates on Purusha or Atma. Uniters are 5 basic elements, mind and ego, as stated in 32.4, which we have already talked about. Samma tapantyabhita abhita. Samma tapantyabhita. 10.33.2. The side supporting horses or rays of spiritual light, like 2 fellow wives, are torturing me on both sides. Poverty oppresses me, so also darkness and exhaustion. Mind flutters like flying birds, which means for a self-identified man, physical body and mind are only sources of sorrows and are to be discarded. Mushona Shishna Vedanti Madhya 10.33.3. O performer of many deeds, abundantly rich Indra, longings or cares are eating your praise, me. as though rats are piercing my body. May you delight us immediately. Then you be like our Father or protector. The seer sage Kavasha is requesting Indra to shower happiness on the sacrificers as spelled out explicitly in the next track. Kurushravanamavrini, the sage on behalf of the institutors of sacrifice chooses or gratifies the king who is hearer of praises, who is most liberal and is the son of shaker of infidels. 10.33.5 Yasyama Haridorathe Tisro, his 3 horses properly carry me sitting in the chariot. I praise him for his gift of thousands of articles. The 3 horses here correspond to Satchit Anandam, existence, consciousness and bliss. Yasya Prasavadaso Gira. 33.6 The speeches of the father or protector of the best renowned one are very agreeable, like a pleasant field for a promoter of agriculture. Best renowned one stands for Atma, self, truth, and protector of truth is Indra. Indra's instructions are said to be delighting to the seer of the Sutta. 10.33.7 Adhi Putropamas Ashravo. O son, the son of Agni's friend, you please come near best renowned one. I am a praiser of your father, or an object of adoration of your father. Both explanations are possible. 10.33.7 and 8. These two together, the comment is, it's an imaginary dialogue between Atma and the seer of the Sutta. Agni's friend is Indra, Jivatma. The seer is a son of Indra, universal Jivatma. If Paramatma had been the master of mortals, then they would have become immortals. Only Indra Jivatma is the cause of mortality of living creatures. This is the implication. 10.33.8 Yadishiyamrtanam uta. Moreover, if I had been master of mortals and immortals, my respected rich Agni's friend Indra would have been living indeed. Last track of the Sutta, 10.33.9 Na devanam adivratam shatatma. Transgressing the rules of the shining beings, nobody lives beyond 100 years. In the same way, companionships do not exist all the time. Jivatma has fixed the lifetime of human beings as 100 years. So, companionship between mortals cannot be permanent. We go to the next Suttam, Suttam 34. Kavasha, Aidusha Rishi, Aksha, Maujavanva, Devata, Akshastuti. Krishistuti, etc. Chandas, Jagati, Trishtup Jagati. This Suktam gives a graphic description of the life of a gambler who plays on the dice board for stakes. Evil effects of gambling are brought out clearly by these works. Since these are well known to all, the rugs may not need much further elaboration. This suktam shows that gambling was prevalent even in the Vedic period. Praveva ma brihato madayanti 34.1. Highly vibrating dice, which grows in an airy place, revolving in a dice board, greatly delights me. It immediately delights me, who is active and indistinguishable from others, like drinking soma of the resounding mountains, or coming from the resounding mountains. Nama Mimetha Najihila Esha 34.2. This wife of mine dies, does not mark off or met out me, nor be angry with me. She is benign to my friends. However, I keep off the wedded wife, who is faithful to me because of dice, since it is more important than the other. Veshte Swashrurapa Jaya. Mother-in-law hates me. Wife keep 34.3. Mother-in-law hates me. Wife keeps away. A suppliant acquires no comforters. I do not obtain enjoyment of a gambler, since it is like that of an old horse priced for selling, implying fate is sealed. Annejayam pari mrshantyasya 34.4. Others touch his wife, whose agonies the fast-moving dice seeks for greedily. His father, mother, and brothers tell of this man, "We do not know him. Lead this bound fellow away." (10.34.5) Yadadithe na द्विषाण्येभिः यदादिथे न द्विषाण्येभिः. When I think of being inactive with the dice, they are left remaining with other friends. The brown dice cast by them make noise, and I come back to their rendezvous, like going to an unchaste woman. The brown dice may be meaning quanta of spiritual energy of Atma. Sabhameti Kitava Prichamano 34.6. A thrower of dice adorning his body with rich ornaments approaches the assembly, telling himself that I shall win over each gambler. In staking at the dice against the opponent who hosts the casting action, the dice enhance his desire for wealth. Akshasa Idangushino Nitodino 34.7. Indeed, the dice are laying hold of the gambler with a hook which is piercing. They cut the gambler to pieces, cause much sorrow and pain. They are givers of boys or gifts to the winning caster of dice, besprinkling with honey-like sweetness by pulling out. They become killers of gamblers again and again. Tripanchasha Kriladi Vrata Esham 34.8. A group of 53 of these seeds of the tree Vibhitaka, which means Terminalia Belerica, play on the dice board like the resplendent Savita, whose ordinances are true. They do not bow down in front of the fury of even the most fierce man. Even a king certainly bows down before these seeds. Dice board may be symbolizing the manifested material universe. Nija Vartanda Upari 34.9. Though they are present in inferior locations, they gleam upon the minds of gamblers. Without hands, they overcome men having hands. Though they are cold to touch, when cast on the dice board, they burn the heart fully like burning charcoal. Inferior locations stands for subtle and graceful. This is the implication. Jaya tapyate kitavasya hina 34.10. Wife of a gambler who wanders here and there, abandoned by the husband, suffers pain. Also his mother grieves on account of her son. Being in debt, he is afraid. Desiring wealth, he goes near others' houses at night for stealing. Mortal men desire for wealth which is not his. This is the implied meaning. Striyam drishtvaya kitavam 34.11. A gambler grieves seeing others' wives, unmarried ladies as well as their well-maintained homes. However, in the early part of the day, he harnesses the brown horses, namely the dice. That contemptible man falls down near some fire for warmth on a cold night. Day stands for waking state. Yova Senanir Mahato Ganasya 34.12. O dice, whoever becomes the commander of your great troop, or whoever is the king of your troop, or who is the first and foremost among you, I make obeisance to him. I shall not procure wealth by gambling. I shall tell that to Prakriti present in the 10 directions starting from the east. The seer of the Sukta does not want to desire for wealth belonging to Isha. Isha vasyamidam sarvam. Akshairma divya Krishimit Krishasva 34.13. O gambler, thinking much about what I have said till now, do not sport with dice. Please do only cultivation, delight in the wealth thus earned. In this way only you enjoy cows there, in company with good wife. Admirable Savita tells me the things that I have told you just now. Last book of the Sutta. Mitram krunudham Kalu Muladanoma 34.14. O dice, whether you make me your friend or not, please delight us and do not move towards us with frightful strength. May your anger settle down quickly on our enemies. May one different from me be in the assault of the brown dice quickly. In essence, the seer sage Kavasha wants to shun his ahambhava, which implies that this one is a highly misconstrued suktam presented in the symbolic language of the wise sages. Here we will close for the day. Viramatsavat.